Hello YTPC, thanks for joining me. Steve, Three Rivers. Just a really short film today. I was very kindly gifted by Dave of Trailing a Woolly Mammoth, one of Russell Boulette's blends, BlackHouse, can you see that? And I've just opened it, and I did promise one of our other colleagues in the YTPC would I do a little review. Well, I can only tell if I like something or not. Can't get too deep into it. I don't know if can you see the tobacco. Just opened it. The aroma, some people might be able to relate to this, takes me back to the 70s, and I believe it's supposed to be sort of a Balkan mixture. Latakia base, Virginia's, Cavendish, some Perique. It'd be easier if I just read it, wouldn't it? Latakia base blend with Virginia, Orientals, Dark Fire Kentucky, Perique, and a bit of unflavoured black Cavendish. Well, I've just had a charring light with it, and it's smooth. It's smooth like velvet. I was a bit concerned I was going to get a bit of a hit off this straight away, but there isn't. It's very nice. I'm smoking it in my Eldritch Dr. Silence Three Rivers reading pipe. I commissioned this with Chris Kelly at Eldritch Pipes, sort of on classical designs, based on his Dr. Silence reading pipe series, and he was gracious enough to, because this was a one of a kind at that particular moment, this is a Dr. Silence Three Rivers reading pipe. So it's on his website. Absolutely fantastic smoker. Uncle Phil Sellers, he's on his Friday morning broadcast. Generally last month or so he's been using his equivalent to this. I think Phil, don't castigate me, I think is it red weed? I might be something completely off the mark there, but he'll probably correct me if he's seen this tomorrow when he does his broadcast. Well, it's a lovely smoking pipe. Really, it is a reading pipe. It's not one for today, but I wanted to celebrate this tobacco, because what I have heard of other people commenting when they knew I got this off David, what a truly good tobacco that was, and that included Andrew Siricolano, so he knows his tobaccos. So excuse me while I attempt to light this again. At the charring light, it would have gone on. This is as smooth as velvet. I noticed the word Perique in there. But it's like a distant echo in this blend. yeah, this complements the pipe and the pipe tobacco so well. Just settle down and listen to the music. We'll read a book. I don't know if any of you out there have read this superb read. It's a whodunit, but the detectives are actually gun dogs and a pheasant. From their perspective in the world. In fact, the main witness, one of the gun dogs, he said, I couldn't describe what the perpetrator looked like, but I recognised the smell of his backside again if I smelt it one more time. Yeah, fundamentally it's shooting, and a great shot pheasant shooter has his own estate somewhere in North Wales, not far from here, and he's killed in that gun shot accident. Well, it wasn't, it was actually murder, but they didn't know that at the time, just thought it was a complete accident. The gun blew half its head away. He got a wrong size cartridge in his barrel, and that's what caused it. But he came back. He was reincarnated as a pheasant, so we can see it from the other side. But it was so funny because he knew these joyous, somewhat dumb birds enjoying their time under the protection of the gamekeeper, being fed and everything else. So when a new party of pheasants arrived, and he found out that this bird, Banger, that was his nickname, Banger, he christened all the other birds that were already on the estate. So the new arrival said, well, we'd like to be christened, which he did. I'll give you an example of the names that were given. Apologise now. Twin Towers, Titanic, all those with a not a good ending, that's what they were all christened. Well, now, if you like that kind of thing, I was chuckling all the way through it. I don't even know if it's in print anymore, but certainly Guy Kennaway, wonderful read, did enjoy it. Oh, by the way, what you can hear behind me, that's if this thing gets released. Eric Clapton. So that's for you, 2 AM on the patio, John and Stevie Winwood doing their thing. Talking about the 70s with this tobacco, came across this. There might be the odd person out there from that era. But there was there is still St Bruno today, and at the time it was manufactured, if that's the right word, blended, in Ogden's, at Ogden's in Liverpool, and they're, as it is still, the St Bernard dog. That was a key ring which you could get, a ceramic key ring, if you, I think it was send 10 1-ounce empty packets back to Ogden's, and yes, it's still in one piece, albeit the plastic bag it came in is deteriorated. So yeah, yeah, lovely memento, which reminds me of a gentleman I have mentioned before, using my favourite tamper. Old Khakis, Wes, God bless. Going back in the day, I mentioned about a gentleman who reminded me of another of our brethren in the YTPC, a chap called Charles Edward Michael Penn Lewis. Yeah, we've got a couple of minutes, haven't we? I'll tell you about how we nicknamed him Wing Commander. I'll explain. Let me try and get ahead of steam on this. Yeah, he was old school Michael. Had a moustache. If I can find a photograph of him, I'll put one up. and he loved smoking his pipes. Yeah, this one's a smooth piper. Get a few vibes of this smooth piper. By the way, Molly's with us, she's just down this end at the moment. Anyway, back in the day, there was something called a Talbot Solara car. Front wheel drive, 5-door, noisy as. Noisy as. Now Michael was a colleague of mine. And because we were travelling all over the country with materials handling, measuring up for fork trucks and one thing and another, we had company vehicles, and at the time there were these Talbot Solaras. Michael was a little bit accident prone, and once down on Dock Road in Liverpool, this is like a hazard to low flying aircraft, isn't it? We had an accident, funny enough, near the Sherlock Holmes pub on the Dock Road there in Liverpool. It basically nearly totaled the car, and I think it was his fault. Anyway, trying to do the best thing, he got a mate of his down in Liverpool on the Dock Road, take it in, knock out the bumps, one thing and another, and obviously he got some compensation for it, but it didn't look as bad or sound as bad as it would have been if it had been nearly totaled. Anyway, the truth came out, and we were due to go over to Leeds, where we are here in North Cheshire. It means going over the backbone of England, which is a range of hills called the Pennines, and the motorway that takes you there is the highest in the country. It's the M62, and the claim was it will never be closed, because they built it because of all the little bit of snow here and there, and traffic just ground to a halt. So there was 3 of us met up, Burton Wood Services, and Michael was driving in his black Solara. Well, Michael, I say, he enjoyed his pipe, but although we were going for a meeting in Leeds with the top brass, he knew he was going to get a dressing down, that was for sure. Almost a firing squad probably. He wasn't looking forward to it. So all the way over, he was going on about how he was trying to do the best for the company and this, that, whinge, moan. Anyway, I'm in the back and he's talking away. I said, and he's got the window open, he's got his pipe going, roaring, and it's like a furnace on the end of a stick. I said, I can't hear you, Michael, I can't hear you. Well, what was that you said? I said, Skipper, generator skipper. Oh, what is it, generator? I said, what's your problem? So this started the potential Lancaster bomber thing with the co-pilot, pilot, rear gunner. I would literally be talking to you, okay, skipper, like that. Anyway, we got over to Leeds. We're in better spirits at this stage. We got through the day quite long. We had a load of people over from Germany. It's always difficult, engineering wise, that is. And then Michael, we had this, the company we're with, and some people in America may remember Clark fork trucks, and they originated as stacker truck in 1914. It was the first ever, apparently, commercially produced forklift truck, although you probably wouldn't recognise it as one. And in this meeting we're all there, and the people from Mulheim are very keen to get over the, you know, the history and heritage of the company. And they have this film about the history. So sales director was there, came out, he said, right, has everybody seen this film, which we had before? But Michael said, oh, Steve hasn't seen it. And I'm thinking, you what? All right, well, we'll put it on then. So he only wanted an excuse to fall asleep. He had this canny knack that he put his hand on the table whilst his pipe was going, puffing away, maybe fast asleep. Also, while this film's on, he's having a few winks. Kicks off one of his shoes, doesn't he? Now Michael was a very well dressed man. If you saw him out the street, pinstripe suit, carnation. He was in the armed forces, the Shropshire Light Infantry, as it happened. His cravat was the Shropshire Light Infantry, his tie was Shropshire Light Infantry, his shoes were as highly polished as you could get them. So he was the epitome of the businessman with his bowler hat. Anyway, he's fallen asleep. But the guy who's in charge, he starts creeping along the desk, looking at Michael, thinking, the bastard's fallen asleep. So hitting him in the elbow, come on, wake up, wake up, wake up, he's going. Anyway, this chap, Gordon, got in front of, you're asleep, he's asleep, and he said, everything alright, Gordon? He just come round just like that, just as the film's finishing. So the lights go back on, and everyone's getting back to normal. But unfortunately for Michael, that shoe he kicked off, I picked up and threw it behind the bookcase. Just a bit of a jape. It was at this stage he was summoned into the head office. Because he thought, where's my shoe? I want to see it. No, I've seen this shoe. Hobbled along. So here he is, and I'm looking at right angles to him through the door as he's facing the firing spot. And they're giving him a right dressing down. And he's a little bit of a keel over that way. There's one shoe missing, and I hold it open at the door. The look he gave me. Anyway, safe that he was given a warning, a very severe warning, never to let that kind of thing happen again. So we all piled back in the Solara, going back over the Pennines of the Way. Well, by now the weather has degenerated. It was absolutely blowing a gale, the rain was coming at horizontal. The car was being buffeted as we go across the tops. Now, co-pilot was a lad called Alan Taylor, and he was a ginger nut. What can I say? He was ginger. And we're coming back over the tops, and the communication's even worse now. I'll just leave you with Eric for a sec. Anyway, going back across, Michael's pipe was a right cadger's pipe. He had a fully loaded, because it's going to be over an hour going back over the top. He's fully loaded for that trip. So we fired it, yeah, it's a Talbot Solara, but by now we've christened it a Lancaster bomber. So we got in. Everything alright, chaps? Okay, get on. Tracking away. Permission for takeoff. And off we went. We're getting on the tops. And we were laughing and joking now that, you know, the worst is over. But Michael, he's got this thing, he's got the window open. Oh, well, he didn't have the window open, but his pipe was going, and he was laughing so hard. He coughed one up. I mean, right from his ankles all the way up. Down goes the window. By the glow, because now we're at night, it's winter time, and there was a glow in the cabin at the front there. As he got, and he went phooey out of the window. Well, unfortunately, this half a bucket of mucus that went out sort of did a loop, shot back into the window and hit Ginge, completely covered him. So about this time I went, Skipper, oh, what is it, Gary? Skipper, I think Ginge has just caught a bracket. And he was just enveloped in all this mucus. So that's where the wing commander tag came from. Yeah, we worked out, but we laughed and we played hard. So depending when you're watching this, if anybody's watching it, I won't put you off your tea. But happy days. I had meant to be going out to do a bit of filming, but the wind's been that bad and I don't have the best of microphones. Well, this may never get put up. Sorry, not one of my better days for the old tremors, but hey, ho, onwards and upwards. So I can get along it. Stevie Winwood actually played on the Electric Ladyland LP with Jimi Hendrix. Anyway, guys and girls, hope you didn't mind me sharing that with you. But Michael would have loved the YTPC. I think you would have loved him as well. I mentioned Smooth Piper at 2 AM on the patio because they joined Professor's Zoom meeting up. Was it Sunday? Uncle Phil was there, Josh, Old Khakis. Oh no, Old Khakis didn't make it this time. I get mixed up because Old Khakis has been on there and Bearded Welshman, Arkansas Mike. But he's got one this Sunday, and it'll be benign from us over in the UK and Europe. We'd be able to get on there without too much of a problem. I think it's going to be 4 o'clock, Central US. So 10 o'clock here. Go and check it out on, he's put a video up today, I think, detailing it, and there's a link. It's so easy to get on. Press the link, whatever it says to you, just press it. It's not going to cost you anything. Steph and Skip came on. I'm not sure if that one's where Sue's got a sister and she's looking for a mate. All enquiries to Steph. Anyway, thanks for your company. Friday tomorrow. I hope Phil's putting one of his productions up. Always look forward to that. Anyway, guys and girls, if I can find some bits and pieces, photographs, I'll stick them up. If not, don't worry, I'll see you again sometime. God bless. Take care.